morning. I am Isatu Kamara-Bush, a member of your Board of Trustees, and I welcome you to this Sunday service at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Columbia. I am a brown-skinned woman with black hair pulled back into a bun, and I am wearing a royal blue short-sleeve shirt. We are a congregation of many beliefs, striving together to embody courageous love, radical welcome, and deep connection. And we are so glad you are here. Welcome. We offer a live stream of our services and extend a warm welcome to those of you joining us online. We strive to make our worship accessible, and you can find an accessible order of service with hymn lyrics included at our homepage, uucomo.org. There are listening assistance devices with our ushers near the entrance to the sanctuary, and if you are on Zoom, you can click the closed caption button for subtitles. We'd like to particularly welcome any visitors among us this morning and invite you to use our Visitor Connect book in the greeting area or in the chat, or use the QR code on your order of service. We would love to stay in touch with you. Children and babies are always welcome in worship, and we also have a lively children's program for all ages and nursery care for our younger ones in the lower level. This morning, we are worshiping together as one community of all ages, and there's nursery care downstairs for young ones who need or prefer it. Classes for children will resume next week. I have one important announcement about our church mission and vision process. We last adopted a mission statement in 2013, and the world has changed a lot since then. The board has decided that this is the year for us to revisit our mission statement with a congregation-wide process of conversation and input gathering. We will be holding small group cottage meetings this fall and winter to discuss the direction of the church. We need as many of us as possible to engage this process to be sure our mission adequately represents all of us. Please sign up today for a cottage meeting. There is a QR code in your order of service insert, or you can visit our table in the greeting area, or you can look out in your email this week for a registration link. There are many different times and locations available, and if this fall is too busy for you, we'll be doing another round of meetings and a survey in January. Thank you for helping us discern our mission together. Now, let us settle into this time and place with the help of the UUCC band.
As we get settled in, I'll introduce the band. So Alan Arnold is standing near the curve of the piano here, and he's a nice gentleman with a white beard, playing a saxophone, a straight soprano saxophone. Sam Buffalo is on a small little drum kit here. He also is bearded with a nice brown curly beard. And I'm Sam Otten. I'm at the piano, this nice black Kawai piano, and I'm clean shaven. We're gonna play a chant for you to start off. This is a pagan chant. I don't know how far back it goes historically, but it was popularized by Rick Hamoris for the pagan community. And the words are, "We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending."
We are a circle within a circle with no beginning, never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning, never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning, never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning, never ending. We are a circle within a circle, no beginning, never ending. We are a circle within a circle, with no beginning, never ending. We are a circle within a circle, within a circle, with no beginning, never ending. We are a circle, within a circle, with no beginning, never ending. We are a circle, within a circle, with no beginning, never ending. We are a circle, within a circle, with no beginning, never ending. We are a circle, within a circle, with no beginning, never ending. We are a circle, within a circle, with no beginning, never ending. We are a circle, within a circle, with no beginning, never ending. We are a circle, within a circle, with no beginning, never ending. We are a circle, within a circle, with no beginning and never ending.
Good morning. I'm the Reverend Dr. Molly Hausch-Gordon. I'm the minister of this congregation. I'm so delighted to see each of you here with us today. I am a white woman with red hair that's pulled up in a bun on one side and buzzed on the other. I'm wearing a bright blue blouse with a black crochet pattern on the top and a black suit jacket this morning. Yesterday, our Jewish neighbors, members, and friends observed the high holiday of Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. This morning, inspired by their observance, we turn our hearts to the lessons of repentance, repair, and renewal. We begin with opening words from Jewish UU minister Leah Ongiri. This is a season of repair, a time to reflect on how we might endure when life tears at us. We are held by the great book of life, in which it is written that we will inevitably face deprivation and discomfort, longing and forgiveness. Each among us must contemplate our own place in it all. As those in relationship with Judaism mark the high holidays, our hearts fill with hope and fear, turning and settling, mystery and agency, accountability and acceptance. Let us gather together in somber celebration of our shared humanity. Come, let us worship together.
Good morning. I am Gretchen Mowney, they, she, one of our worship associates. I am a white elder millennial with chin-length brown hair and blue streaks, wearing a burgundy sweater and a black top and holding a blind cane. We now kindle our chalice flame to represent the cup of community that holds us and the inextinguishable flame of spirit that unites us. As our chalice is lit, will you please join me in the words of affirmation printed in your order of service? Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
And we'll now begin a ritual portion of our service about promise making, promise breaking, and promise renewing that Jamila and I have developed over the last few years as a way of being in relationship with the lessons of Yom Kippur and the high holidays. And Jamila is going to introduce herself.
Hello, I am Jamila Batchelder. I am a 47-year-old white woman with lots of dark blonde hair and glasses, and I am wearing a brown shirt, a black velvet blazer with a autumnal-colored floral print, black skinny jeans, and brown boots. I'm not behind. And I'm, as someone of Jewish heritage, I'm very excited to share this service.
The Jewish philosopher Martin Buber believed that making promises is an essential act of humanity. As social beings, the way that we engage with the world is by committing ourselves to others and to ourselves. Buber described humans as promise-making, promise-keeping, promise-breaking, and promise-renewing beings, and believed that all of those aspects were important to what it means to be human. As Unitarian Universalists, participating in a covenantal tradition, even with our many faith backgrounds and beliefs, we are also a people gathered around promise. The Unitarian Universalist poet Julian Jamaica Soto writes about this in their poem, "The Light Must Spill to Shine," which Gretchen will now read for us.
Some people are used to keeping rules. Don't cross the street when the light is red. Only sensible. It turns out that keeping rules isn't the same as keeping covenant, which asks us, instead of keeping a bright line, to keep our promises. To what have we promised ourselves? To this moment in time and place? To this community, and even tenderly interconnected, this planet? We promise ourselves to the idea that we are each and all human beings. We promise that there is something moving between us that we cannot tame and cannot measure. The chalice is a reminder that what flame we keep inside us cannot light the way, but must spill to shine. The thing you must be is yourself, unadulterated, shedding the willingness to journey alone, as though you are made of something hard and unforgivable. You are human. You belong right here, right now. And together, we will chase away the sickness, the secrets, and leave only the open possibility that the future is a space for growth.
Promises can be very small, or they can be very large. We can promise things to other people, whether they know it or not. And we can promise things to ourselves, whether we're thinking deeply about it or not. And we also make big promises to life and to love. Complex promises called commitments about how and who we wish to be as humans. The Jewish high holy days recognize that unless we are continually committing and recommitting ourselves to something, it is easy for us to drift away from our humanity and our right relationships. Therefore, we remember our big promises during this time, our commitments to life, and about how we want to be in the world. This morning, we recognize that our commitments shape the circle of our relationships, the circle of our communities, and the circle of creation. And so I invite you now to help ritually create our circle of promise. So children, I'm hoping you can help me with this. You are invited to come forward and help me with this ritual. And together we will shape a circle of flowers on our table here in the center, symbolizing the commitments that we hold most dear.
And as Jamila and our children, if you would like to come help make a circle of flowers, help make a ritual symbol of our promises, I'd like to invite all of us, if you feel so moved, to say a word about our promises. What are some of your most precious commitments in this life, the promises that you most strive to keep? You may, if you'd like, name them aloud, one by one, popcorn style, as we build our circle, and I'll repeat them into the microphone so everyone can hear. What are some of your most precious promises that you seek to keep? Feeding and sheltering our children. Investing in a marriage relationship. Working on personal growth. Being kind. Committed towards improving to more nonviolent communication. Having fun. What a good promise. Pursuing more justice and mutual thriving for all people. Listening to people different than us. Loving and sharing. Following passion. Telling the truth. Bringing joy into the world. Not giving up. Being fiscally responsible. Crying when you need to. What a beautiful array of promises. What a beautiful floral circle of promise. And what beauty of commitments we each hold in our hearts, not spoken aloud, but held very deeply within us. Behold the beauty of our circle of promise.
Held in the circle of this covenanted community, in the circle of our most precious commitments, we now invite you into a moment of embodied prayer. You are invited to take a stone to represent the things you carry with you on this day and would have help in holding. And you are then invited to drop the stone in the water, symbolizing the care of our community. Those of you with us online are invited into a time of contemplation during quiet music, and you may wish to share your joy or sorrow in the chat, to be spoken aloud during our time of prayer. Those of you in person who wish to have your joy or sorrow spoken aloud may write it on a slip of paper at the back table to be shared during our time of prayer.
And we'd like to invite you to come down through the middle of this big open space, and then we've created aisles to the side that you can go back to reach your seat. usually make promises because we deeply want to keep them. But life is always a little bit more complicated than we imagine, and our commitments sometimes compete with one another in ways we don't always entirely understand. And so sometimes we fail each other and ourselves. We recognize at this turning of the year that we have all broken promises to the people we love, to ourselves, to life. We have all, at some point, failed to live up to our commitments to love and to life in lots of small ways, and sometimes perhaps in a few large ways as well. I'd like to invite you now into a somber moment, pondering the commitments that you most regret breaking this year. And I will journey around the sanctuary bearing witness, asking you to put a hand over your heart for the promises you have broken. And as we do this, Jamila and the children who would like to help will remove some of the flowers from our beautiful circle of promise, representing the ways the circle of life is damaged when we cause harm. Let us now ponder these broken promises. One thing I grapple with is that on top of all of the ways I have broken my commitments and known it, I also know that there must be many ways I have broken my promise as a human and not known it. Because we live in a very big, very tangled up world amid many forces of oppression and violence. There are also ways we have been a part of intense harm without ever knowing it. Supremacy systems and empire trick us into leaving a trail of broken promises to humanity in our wake. So I invite you now to put your hand on your heart one more time for all the broken commitments that we do not even recognize or understand. Jamila will remove one more section. Though it is inevitable that we break our commitments, though it is so human, we must also acknowledge that when we do, The circle of relationship, of community, and of creation is broken as well. This is very difficult and true, and weighs heavily on our hearts. It is our job to fully encounter this truth, to sit with the discomfort it prompts, and to feel and ponder this heaviness of heart.
We all break promises. We all make mistakes. There's something reassuring about that. Looking around this room at people I know to be good people, trying to do good in the world, that I am not the only one who has made mistakes, who has hurt people that I want to care for. And when we feel like we are the only one who has broken promises, it's hard to face. Maybe we try to pretend it didn't happen. Maybe we worry and worry about it, but don't know what to do. Maybe we were afraid that if people knew our mistakes, they wouldn't like us anymore. But look around. Everyone here has made mistakes. Everyone. The Jewish people are wise to have this special time of the year to be brave and to be sad together, and to look at all we have done that we wish we hadn't, and then to do what we can to make it better. And even when we can't make it better, just to say the words, "I am sorry." Let's say that together to whomever or whatever it needs saying. I am sorry. Staying with our mistakes and our broken promises is a big thing. But together we can find courage and strength to begin. We will take a moment now to sit with our mistakes and really look at them. I need the help from the children one more time. If you could help me pass out the rocks that are around our table at the center. I want you to, all of you in the congregation, to hold these rocks in your hands and call up your mistakes and feel them present with you, like this rock. Something that fills your hand and your heart, something that needs your attention.
As we sit for a moment and feel the heaviness, let us remember that we do not hold this heaviness alone, but that we join together in community and hold one another amid all that we are holding. we now prepare to share the joys and sorrows and prayers of our congregation, even as we symbolically hold one another in this solemn moment of repentance. For those of you who wish to respond to our joys or sorrows spoken aloud, we have a custom here of a silent, embodied gesture. For joys, we like to share spirit fingers wiggling in the air. For concerns, a hand or two over the heart. First, let us join with our online participants, with Brooke and her 7-year-old daughter, Leah, who wants to put in a joy for Leah's Gigi on a path of healing and getting answers she needs for her health. We join our hearts with Miriam, who shares the joy of, who shares the joy of being with an old friend, and who shares the sorrow of learning of the passing of another mutual old friend. Rest you gentle, Sarah Carol Greer, Stevens College class of 1982. We join our hearts with Anna, who shares the joy of having so many opportunities to connect with church community this week. We share our love and concern for all suffering illness of mind, body, or spirit this week. We share a wish of hope and peace and an end to violence for all those suffering violence and war and their impact this week. We continue in prayer with the words of Rabbi Jack Reimer. To everything there is a season, and there is an appointed time for every purpose under heaven. Now is the time for turning. The leaves are beginning to turn from green to red to orange. The birds are beginning to turn to storing their food for the winter. For leaves, birds, and animals, turning comes instinctively, but for us, it does not come so easy. It takes an act of will for us to make a turn. It means breaking with old habits. It means admitting that we have been wrong, and this is never easy. It means losing faith, starting all over again, and this is always painful. It means saying, I am sorry. It means admitting that we have the ability to change, and this is sometimes embarrassing. These things are terribly hard to do, but unless we turn, we will be trapped forever in yesterday's ways. So love, help us turn. From callousness to sensitivity, from hostility to love, from pettiness to purpose, from envy to contentment, from carelessness to discipline, from dehumanization to the preciousness of each person all over the world, from fear to faith. Turn us around, O love, and bring us back toward you. Revive our lives and turn us toward each other, for in isolation there is no life. Amen.
The beauty of this time of year is indeed its turning. We are promise-making, promise-keeping, promise-breaking, and promise-renewing creatures. We can return to our promises as we turn back to our humanity and to the calling of love. Every year, every day, every minute, the chance comes around again to renew our promises. And how do we do it? We apologize. We make amends, and we try again. Knowing that our amends won't take away the hurt, won't restore comfort, but can restore our humanity and can perhaps reshape our circle. We cannot undo harm, but we can renew our promises and build something new even amid the gaps and broken places caused by our mistakes. So now we will fill in the gaps in our circle with our stones. And in so doing, recall that our mistakes, through the work of atonement, become a part of a circle that we can return to. And as we turn back to our promises with life and love, back to our most humane selves. I invite you now into a procession or solemn journey of return. So following the person at the head of your section, you will carry your stones to our circle while together we sing a Jewish song of return. And as you come forward and place your stone, think about what concrete things you will do in your work of atonement. Once you've placed your stone, please also take a length of yarn that are on the table that we will use at the end of our service as we renew our promises of life and love.
Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return to who you are. Return to what you are. Return to where you are. Born and reborn again. Return again. Return again. Return to the home of your soul. Return again. Return again. Return to the home of your soul. Return to who you are. Return to what you are. Return to where you are. Born and reborn again. Return again. Return again. Return to the home of your soul.
Behold, the circle of our community and our covenant. Remade, again whole and holy, not only by our commitments, but also by the recognition of our mistakes and our broken promises, and energized by the work we do to return, atone, repair, and begin again. We do not seek forgiveness and forgetting, but instead to remember that our mistakes are a part of our story. Now we decide where the story will go from here. Today, we make peace with what has come before and prepare to do the work that lies ahead. We ground ourselves once again in love.
Every new year, every new day, every new moment is another chance to build, break, and renew our circle. It is only by this continual dance of renewal that the circle of humanity, the circle of creation, grows and is kept whole. It is only by witnessing the harm in the world and recommitting ourselves to its repair that the circle of life is kept whole. So now let us take a moment to renew our promise, to renew our commitments to life, to love, to the preciousness of each person. As we sing one more time together, a beloved hymn among us, Circle Round for Freedom, take a moment to think of a promise you want to recommit yourself to today. And then tie the piece of yarn you took around your wrist or get help from your neighbor in tying to remind you and call you back again and again to your promise in all the days to come. Let us join together in singing Circle Round for Freedom, number 155 in your gray hymnal.
Circle round for freedom, circle round for peace, for all of us in prison, circle for release, circle for the planet, circle for each soul, for the children of our children. Keep the circle whole. Circle round for freedom. Circle round for peace. For all of us circle for release, circle for the planet, circle for each soul, for the children of our children. Keep the circle.
One last time.
Circle
One of the ways we share our commitment to one another in our circle of community is our regular practice of generosity. Together, we support the promise of our congregation when we take an offering for our work. As our ushers pass through the sanctuary, you can also find details for giving online in your order of service. This morning will be a Faith to Action collection for our Sanctuary and Immigrant Justice team. And before we take our offering, they will tell us a bit about their work.
Good morning. I'm Annie Chippendale. As an immigrant myself, first from Estonia to escape the Russian occupation, and then from Germany to start an incredible new life in this wonderful country, I feel a special affinity for the Sanctuary and Immigration Justice team that was founded in our church in 2017, at the time that we became a sanctuary congregation. The committee was co-chaired by David Gibbons and Allie Gassman, who continue to provide caring and able leadership. Our intent initially to become a sanctuary congregation was to provide a safe haven for immigrants who were in fear of deportation. Partly because this took place during Trump's first administration, there was an understandable fear that this promise, this commitment would not be honored, and we did not get any requests. So therefore, the committee changed its orientation and started to provide help by finding an immigrant family that came under our care. In May 2021, our congregation started to sponsor Lily Ortez and her 2 children, Manuel, at that time, who was only 2 years old, and an infant daughter, Lashmi. The children are now 9 and 4. If you can just imagine the arduous journey of this mother of a 2-year-old pregnant from Guatemala to the United States. She endured the arduous trip and was very lucky because she actually made it across the border and arrived in time to give birth to her daughter, Lashmi. Lily had complications with her pregnancy, and she was smart and felt secure enough to take the advice that was given her. Do not sign any papers that are brought to you while you are in the hospital. By listening to this advice, she escaped the misery that so many hundreds and thousands of other immigrants endured of having her children taken from her, dispersed around the country, and as we know, they're lost, many forever, most sadly. She was brought to Colombia through the care of our church, and she is doing well with the help of your donations. She is settled in, and she continues to work fully, and it's still not an easy journey for her. She's working full-time at the university as a caretaker, and she puts in a lot of extra overtime hours. Hey, you know, custodial pay is not abundant. It is, and she does not get many raises. And she is still at a point where, you know, her financial demands of living as a single mother with 2 children are stretching her financial abilities and are causing a source of stress. When she was given a car generously donated by Meredith Donaldson after her husband's death, sadly, the car conked out and she had to get a new one. again, with the help of the committee, she was able to purchase a new car that has had problems since she purchased it, but we were able to offer her a loan through the committee, which she is now paying back out of her salary. She is working hard to become independent. She's looking for additional work, but as you can imagine, a single mother, 2 children, how difficult it is to already have one full-time job, transport her children, and find the resources to pay for all of the bills, including the rent. There's a limit to what she, as a very dedicated and as a very caring mother can do in any single day. Lashmi and Manuel are extremely wonderful, active, bright children, and they need her care too, and she is, I can tell you, a very loving, a very caring, a very wonderful mother. And her top priority in coming to the States is to ensure that her children get the best possible education as possible. As you well know, housing costs and options in Columbia are out of control. Lily set out to find an apartment for her children. Now, it's not only finding an apartment that she can afford, it's also finding an apartment that was able to keep her son, Manuel, in a Derby Ridge school, a school that he moved to after several moves, and a school that has proven to be a haven and a very good resource for him, and he's doing well. Both of the children speak English fluently, and they are really benefiting from all that you are giving them. Of course, as a single mother, there's always the question of transportation, and she luckily has been able to handle that well. Derby Ridge allowed her to keep Manuel in the school, even though her current apartment is out of the school district, and we give them great thanks and gratitude for their understanding. She also, now Manuel is able to, she's able to drop Manuel off at sister-in-law's in the trailer park where he can get the bus in the morning, where he can take the bus in the afternoon, and where he's looked after until Lily's able to pick him up. And she also has to transport her, Lashmi, to Head Start. Another excellent opportunity for the little girl to get a good start in life. But just imagine all of that as a single mother on one salary. The problem of being an immigrant and being a woman, and especially when you don't speak English with great confidence yet. She's making progress, but she is not fluent, and she needs assistance in interpretation, is that she can become an easy victim when you are working independently and when you're trying to negotiate things. Let me give you an example. She found the apartment, she signed the lease for the apartment, and then she was happy to move into it. It had been nicely refurnished, and she was feeling good about it. And then the rains came. The apartment flooded. Okay, so then she had to navigate with the landlord again about fixing the issues that were involved. There were some leaks involved. He was not, as you might imagine, in a mood to rush to her assistance. We did some research about the apartment and the landlord and found out that, guess what? Her apartment and another basement apartment are illegally built in a duplex. And yet Lily is reluctant and is very scared at this point to make too many noises, to create any kind of a situation where she might be kicked out. And there is that constant fear she has. She is now living at a time, right, when our culture in America right now is building one party's hopes of the presidency around demonizing immigrants and making its first promise to get rid of immigrants in this country. Okay, so he says illegal. His vocabulary probably doesn't even know what that means. And here we are, and there she is. So I want you to just understand the emotion, the fear, the courage, the determination of Lily and all the other immigrants who are desperately, desperately trying to find a new life in this country. And you guys are making it happen for her. The children are both doing well. Manuel is now in the 2nd grade. He is the only child I have ran into this summer who, when I asked him, hey, how's your summer going, said, yeah, it's going well. But guess what? School starts in 12 days. And so what you do for this family makes a difference. We, as a committee, have had the incredible satisfaction of having help that's gone beyond finances. You've donated financial support. You've donated transportation when she needs it, when her car breaks down, and it will break down again. You know, it's an oldish model. You have given members of our congregation, have given her driving lessons so she's independent on the road. She can navigate her own transportation. She has been helped when she has to go through the process of getting a license or any process that involves her being able to understand the paperwork and the legal congregation. And yet she is a wonderful woman who loves living here. She constantly gives thanks to us as a congregation for her opportunities. And guess what? In a good American way, she is now talking about starting a business in America with her brother at some point down the line. The children are getting an education, and you are giving them an opportunity for a decent life in the future. Thank you for all you do. Our committee is now, as I said, we're moving away. Lily's becoming independent financially on her own, and our next step is to try and bring another immigrant family. Guys, the work you're doing, the contributions you're making, make all the difference, and I promise you every dollar goes to a good cause. As Aesop said, no act of kindness, however small, is ever forgotten. Thank you for your wonderful contributions to our committee. And if any of you are interested, we would love to have you as members as well.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. There are loved ones in the glory whose dear forms you often miss. When you close your earthly story, will you join them in their bliss? Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. The joyous days of childhood, oft they told us wondrous love, pointed to the dying Savior. Now they dwell with him above. You remember songs of heaven, which you sang your childish voice. Do you love the hymns they taught you, or are songs of earth your choice? Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. You can picture happy gatherings round the fireside long ago, And you think of tearful pardons when they left you here below. One by one their seats were emptied. One by one they went away. Now the family, well, it is parted. Will it be complete one day? Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Go forth to make promises and mistakes in the name of love and to renew them all again and again. Go forth to work together to keep the circle whole. Go in blessing and be a blessing to a world that needs our care. Let us sing our benediction.